Hello everyone, this is Rui PCB, your trusted PCB partner. Today, we'll be introducing PCB routing techniques in KiCad. In our previous episode, we completed a simple PCB layout. In this episode, we'll route this layout and finish the PCB. So how do we route the board? KiCad has an auto routing plugin. For circuits as simple as this one, with no special requirements, you can use auto routing to complete it. Let's take a look at auto routing. By using the input plugin, specifically routing, this plugin can perform auto routing. Let's click on it. After clicking finish, wait a moment. It will load the plugin and then start routing. Then click OK. Alright, the routing is now complete. This is the result of auto routing. Right now, I'm using a 2-layer board. As you can see, the auto routing makes the traces look a bit messy, but its main principle is just to ensure connectivity, so it might look a little chaotic. If there are no special requirements, you can use auto routing to finish the job and the PCB will still work. If you have certain requirements, such as aesthetics or other electrical performance needs, it's recommended to do the routing manually. Alternatively, you can use auto routing first and then make adjustments. For example, if some traces aren't routed well, we can tweak them individually. Personally, I usually route manually. Let's close this and reopen it. Let's see how to do manual routing. I didn't save just now. So now, let's take a look at manual routing. Let's first take a look at D. Generally, I don't route the D net. Instead, I use copper port to connect it at the end. Let's just go in order. This is the 5V line, so let's pull the 5V over. Of course, for 5V, the power trace should generally be made thicker since it needs to carry current. Let's set it to 0.5 millimeters first, making the trace a bit thicker. We just need to connect them. Then let's check if there are any other places as well. There's also the power chip and the driver chip. So let's route the trace over to them too. I'm using a 45-degree angle approach right now. There are also 2 internal ones, so let's route those up as well. Then connect and make sure they're conducting. This completes the 5-volt routing. Next, let's look over here and connect these signals as well. If we look at the traces, if I connect A directly like this, we'll find that B and C will have to be routed around. Generally, we try to minimize the number of detours, so we'll route B and C first. I forgot to adjust the trace width for this one. Let's change the trace width. For signal lines, we don't need them to be that thick, so let's set it back to 0.2. If the signal traces are too thick, it'll be hard to route in many places later on. We connect them, then finish B, and then draw C. Put traces that are close to each other, try to draw them parallel, it looks better that way. Next, draw D, and finally draw A. This way we route around from this side. If we had drawn A first, B, C, and D would have needed to be routed around, but now we only have to detour for A. If it's really hard to route, we can use a via to go to the bottom layer, and even then we only need to route A on that layer. It's the same here. First, let's look at K and L, which are easy to draw and nearly parallel. I seem to have drawn far too much in this particular spot, so let's proceed to carefully erase it now. There's a sharp corner here. Sharp corners don't look good, so just redraw it. Try not to draw sharp angles like before. Sharp angles are very bad for the signal. Also, since these 2 traces need to go over there, to the other side. Let's not draw the more complicated ones for now. First, connect the ones that can be connected directly. We'll route this one from underneath. Now let's look at what's left here. A, B, and C. These three need to be routed around a bit. To route around, we can actually use a via on a double layer board to go to the bottom layer. That way we can go around directly and make the connection. Generally, if you can avoid using vias, you should. Because in complex circuits, if you use too many vias, you'll find that even 2 layers aren't enough to route everything, which becomes a real hassle. So let's add a via for A. For A, we'll add a via C. Okay, first lead the trace out. Then select the via. Next, switch to the bottom layer, because this pad is a through hole, so we don't need a via here. This way, I can cross the traces and route them back. Now, as we can see, only the ground line hasn't been connected yet. Everything else is done. So finally, we just need to apply copper pour to the whole board. Select an edge first. Let's select both the top and bottom layers for copper pour, and also choose the net. Select G and D. Then carefully trace all the way around the entire perimeter of the board, just once. Then close the shape. Now you can see that the copper pour hasn't appeared yet. You need to press E to fill it in. Right, just press B to fill it in. See, now the copper pour is complete. Let's check the top layer's copper pour is also done. Then we meticulously finish the detailed drawing and subsequently perform the normal thorough inspection process. DRC inspection. Run it. Okay, there are a few errors. Let me take a look. This is about the border. When I drew the frame, it prompted that it was not closed according to my method, but this has no impact. We mainly look at the unconnected ones and see how many of them are not connected. So, let's take a look. You see this ground wire isn't connected because it's blocked, so we'll need to add a via. Since we're doing a double-sided copper pour, this will effectively connect it. This one is the same. As you can see, this ground wire in this area isn't connected to other areas, so we add a via to connect it to the bottom layer. The same goes for these 3. Then we run the DRC again, and now the unconnected parts are gone. We can choose to ignore this error, or we can fix it, just close it by drawing 4 lines and adding 4 arcs. Alright, that's all for the routing section. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel for more content. Take care everyone.